also keep trying to get there. So is he sending it or?
Oh yeah. You're okay. Hold on the side.
Didn't know the commentary. It was what? Like the girl speaks French.
From humble beginnings to a global stage, no matter if you climb for fun, for sport, or for life, you found something in climbing that calls to you. A passion to struggle, to strive, and to ascend. The climb may be between you and the wall, but as a climber, you are a part of a community. A community every climber calls home. Rockbase, proud partner of Climbing Escalade Canada.
Good morning and welcome to Speed Day at 2022 Canadian Lead and Speed National Championships. Pete Woods here with Bonnie DeBryan. Bonnie, today is all about going super, super fast. We're at the speed wall here at the Olympic Oval in Richmond. I'm excited to see what we can put down today as maybe a new Canadian record, but speed is about excitement, power, explosivity.
Oui, tout à fait. Bienvenue. On a le deuxième jour de Lead and Speed nationaux 2022. Puis justement, Pete vient de dire, on est devant le mur de speed. Puis c'est tout à fait une vibe différente qu'hier. Ça va être excitant, vite, court. C'est le fun.
Ouais, c'est le fun. And speed climbing is getting more and more popular in Canada. We're getting climbers that are approaching really good competitive sort of World Cup times. We might see another Canadian world or Canadian record. We saw one broken. Ethan Pitcher broke his own Canadian record in qualifying. So now the Canadian record sits at 6.2, and it might get broken again because we know that he can go faster. We are minutes away from getting this thing started. Let's have a look at the speed wall, and then we'll get you ready and into the action just maybe 2 minutes from now. All right, before we do that, we are going to do our land recognition as we have been throughout the entire competition. In the spirit of truth and reconciliation, all of us here at Climbing Escalade Canada acknowledge that we gather on traditional unceded land of the Coast Salish nations. We honor their long history of welcoming many nations to this beautiful territory, and we uphold and uplift the voice and values of our host nation.
Dans l'esprit de vérité et de réconciliation, nous tous à Climbing Escalade Canada reconnaissons que nous nous réunissons sur les terres traditionnelles non cédées des communautés Coast Salish. Nous honorons leur longue histoire d'accueil de nombreuses nations sur ce magnifique territoire et nous défendons et élevons la voix et les valeurs de notre nation hôte.
Thank you, Bonnie. A quick word to our sponsors before we get to the action. You're having a look at the speed wall in the background. 15 meters. It's exactly the same the world over. The holds, the angle, the placement. We've had this wall certified, which means that any record that we set here will become an official Canadian record. Thanks to our event partners for this weekend, Sport Canada, Arc'teryx, Movement Factory, Rock Base, and Rock Digital. And then the local sponsor here is the City of Richmond, Via Sport, and the Richmond Olympic Oval. There's a quick look at the women who are going to run first in this speed final. Bonnie, I think it's time to get things underway, shall we?
Oui, on y va.
On y va. Let's do it. Who's up first?
Erica Velève de Québec contre Caitlin Arrowsmith de BC.
So in the qualifying round as well as now, they always go head-to-head. So qualifying, you get a time, it seeds you into the bracket, and now you just have to beat the person to your left or to your right.
Donc Erica est à gauche ici, puis Caitlin à droite.
So couple things to notice. We'll cover it off as we go. They start, all the timing is electronic now, so the foot pad that they step on, that registers their start time. You can false start in speed climbing, Bonnie. You cannot go before the beeps.
Oui, et malheureusement, si tu sautes à la fin puis tu sautes pas assez haut ou tu pousses pas assez fort et ça enregistre pas ton temps, ça compte comme une DNF.
Exactly. So there's subtleties into the speed. Let's see what we got here. A really good start from Erica and a little slip there. She managed to keep it together. She's going to hang on, I think, for the win here.
Oui, voilà.
10.7. That's in the average for this competition for the field we have here. The current Canadian women's record is held by Alana Yip, 7.9 seconds, and she trained it for several years leading up to the Olympics. So that's someone who spent a lot of time speed climbing, and here we have a lot of younger speed athletes. So we're going to see times in the sort of 10, 11, 12 seconds. Doesn't mean it's less competitive. It just means that they take more time to get to the top of the wall.
Erica, elle a mieux grimpé dans son qualif, mais le temps, comme on vient de dire tantôt, ça compte pas ici. Il faut juste être avant l'autre.
So now we're going to have Tegan Chow is going to be on your left, and Olivia Busk will be on your right. Olivia's from the U.S., and she will get to it, but she might shake things up a little bit if she climbs well and makes it into the semifinal. We'll have to run a few extra races to make sure we get a Canadian champion. Tegan and Olivia. Well, good start from both ladies.
Ouais, ils sont quand même proches.
Tegan moving well, a slip from Olivia. And Tegan, if she can hold it together here.
Ouais.
Oh, yeah, I thought she missed the panel.
C'est arrivé plusieurs fois dans les qualifs, en fait.
So it is the last move is quite big. It's a very big dynamic move at the end, and it is possible if you have a slip, you're rushing, you're going all out at all times. It is possible to have a slip making the last move. So just have a look at, the space between the last holds and the final pressure panel. You see Tegan here, good footwork. There are several different methods to the speed route, Bonnie. We're going to see more variety on the men's side, I think, in the start choices.
OK, juste pour dire, à gauche ici, on a Farnèse Esmelzadeh contre Julia Finstad de BC. Farnèse vient de Ontario.
And Farnèse will be on your left, and Julia will be on your right. Getting tied into the auto belay. Can't keep up anymore with the speed athletes, so they're all run by auto belay systems.
Oui, comme tu disais, il y a certaines techniques, même si la voie est pareille pour tout le monde, il y a des choix que tu peux pratiquer.
Even just look at the starting hand position that they choose. Well, Olivia there getting away quick and clean.
Farnèse est un peu en avance. Ouh!
Oh, it's going to get close at the top now.
Whoa!
Oh, she slowed down just enough to allow Olivia to catch up.
Julia.
Oh, Julia to catch up. I'm one bracket behind.
Wow, c'était proche. C'était comme Farnèse, Julia. Mais finalement, c'était Farnèse.
Yeah, there's time to recover from slips because you never know what the other climber's going to do. So it's important never to give up. You have a slip, you can't sort of collapse and say, I guess that's it. I've seen more than once someone come from all the way behind and then have the leader slip and have that person who fell early come back.
C'est vrai.
Our last pairing
c'est pas
here.
Fini avant que c'est fini.
No, exactly. It's not over till it's over. We have Louisa Kruskoff on your left and Riley Galloway on your right. The bracket is sort of first against eighth, like a normal seeded bracket, and that goes on the times they put up qualifying.
Puis Riley a grimpé hier aussi. Il faut pas oublier. Il y en a quelques athlètes qui vont être un peu plus fatigués.
Yeah, we don't have all speed specialists here. We have a couple on the men's side that only climb speed, but yeah, a lot of these women climbed yesterday. Oh, and that's an even start, but a little bit quicker here from Louisa through the middle section.
Come on.
Riley pushing hard, but it's going to be Louisa. 10.9 is a really good time in this field.
Good run. Louisa de BC. Ouais, on a une représentative de Québec, BC, Ontario, les 3 provinces.
You know, the 3 major provinces. You see they're pretty even at the top, and there is when Louisa starts to get ahead. Just it was a little slip from Riley at the beginning, and then Louisa keeping it together. You see they use that what is originally a foothold just in the top third of the route.
Pour une main.
As a hand, yeah. The speed route, as you see it S's here, you look on your screen, the top best speed climbers in the world, and we're talking really fast. The men's record is 5.208 seconds, and the women's record is 6.84 seconds on this 15-meter route. And they're trying to take as much of the left to right movement out of it as possible. We just pop back to a look at the speed route. If you count up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in that start, some of the men will skip the 4th hold, so the one that's most to the left, and they'll do a hand-foot match. Super exciting to watch that kind of speed.
OK, on est déjà rendu au gars. Puis on va commencer avec Ethan Pitcher, qui vient de faire son un record canadien au calife. Bon, lui, dans sa tête, je pense qu'il veut encore faire encore mieux parce qu'il a déjà fait mieux dans son pratique. On a Ethan Pitcher contre Jeff Arrowsmith.
Oh.
Oh, une fausse
I think
start?
that's maybe a false registry. I mean, he didn't even.
Non, il n'a pas bougé.
He didn't lift a foot or move at all. False starts are done. If you false start, you're out. The sensitivity is 0.1 second. So if you leave inside of 0.1 second from the buzzer, the system believes you have false started, but I think that was just a malfunction.
Ethan est à gauche.
So a little more careful start from Ethan, and he's just going to go measured here, I think, against Jeff, and he's going to go 6.5.
C'était pas pire. S'il n'y avait pas de faute, c'était pas mal évident que Ethan allait gagner avec son expérience.
Yeah, and that was Ethan taking it a little bit easy, knowing that he's got to get himself into the final. A good look at the start here. So Ethan goes in that hand-foot match, skips hold 4 altogether. Just look at the lack of movement left to right. That's the hallmark of good speed athletes, and Ethan right now is far and away the best speed climber in Canada. He's been working at it for quite a long time. Our next pair is going to be Braden Bossert and Jack Whitney. I think Braden is going to be on your left, and Jack is going to be on your right. So quick starts is what we want, efficiency in the middle, and then managing to keep that explosivity through the entirety of the speed route. Braden and Jack.
Braden, il a bien fait des qualifs. Là. On va voir s'il peut répéter ça.
Oh, a slip, and then a slip from Braden. So Jack had a moment to get it back. Oh my goodness.
An old slip, come on.
Jack Whitney now is going to maybe overtake, and he is going to come away with the win.
Wow.
That was a back and forth. Teammates here, I believe, so kind of a smile and wave to each other, and that was a stay in it till it's over moment. Jack Whitney just digging deep.
Il faut que je vérifie, mais Braden il a fait une run assez vite. Peut-être que c'était une personal best dans son qualif. Donc, au moins, peut-être il va avoir ça. Mais il va être déçu, c'est sûr. Deux fois slip de faire glisser 2 fois, c'est vraiment décevant.
And if you watch carefully, I mean, you see the rubber on the walls. There are a couple places where they smear, so they don't push on a hold at all, and you have to get that just right when you're climbing as fast as you possibly can. The margin of error is so small. So now we're going to have Michael Finn-Henry. He's going to be on your left, and Nate Corsi is going to be on your right.
Michael, il grimpe très, très vite. Ça, c'est quelqu'un qui est un citoyen des États-Unis et du Canada, en fait. Mais là, il déménage à Victoria. Il va s'entraîner avec Ethan Pitcher.
And they're just going to push each other, you know? That's the way you want to see it.
Oui.
See Michael getting away to a really good start. Just needs to get ahead of Nate.
Up. Yeah. Nice. En bas de 7 secondes.
Yeah.
C'est très bon.
And you know, and it's hard for when you're up against the best, you've got to put down the best run of your life and hope that they make a mistake. So it's part of the competition process, right? It's part of your growth as a speed athlete is you're going to be paired up against people who have a time that's, several seconds better than you. And just that start is so clean from Michael Finn Henry. The foot placements here, no mistakes. And you see they rarely look down. So things to look for on the speed route is climbers that don't look down. They don't need to see where their feet go. This has been rehearsed. The speed route hasn't changed in a decade. So these climbers have been doing this exact sequence since they started speed climbing. And it's not about look and reach and move. It's about know where the holds are and get all of your explosivity correct.
On va avoir Dylan Lee à gauche, puis Liam Kletke à droite. Dylan, il vient de Québec.
And he's been climbing a lot. He's doing both, and he's doing all three, actually, boulder lead and speed. And his speed climbs are improving. He's getting up into that same range as the top climbers here. So we'll see what Dylan can
Il a
put down.
déjà eu 3e au Youth World Championships.
A good start and a slip from Liam, and Liam's not going to be able to recover.
Ça veut dire c'est dans le bag.
6.8.
Nice.
A really good time from
Oui.
Dylan. And Liam's going to finish out. I like that. He did manage to pull it back in. Instead of just coming to the ground, he's going to finish out his route. I'd like to see that. Boom, watch the start here. The foot placements are so good, and on the right, you're going to see Liam slip. Just right there.
Manquer la prise, complètement.
Yeah, and it happens, Bonnie, so quickly.
Mais oui.
I mean, you have to, the more you think about speed climbing, the more you sort of get into the technical sort of rabbit hole of it all. Imagine if you were running the 100 meters, but the track was uneven, and there were some things you might have to jump over, and maybe you had to go around, a few pylons along the way.
Like hurdles?
But different. Different. And some hurdles, and then some not hurdles, and then some lower points, and then a hurdle to the left, and then a lower hurdle to the right. When you go as fast as you possibly can, you are running the risk of slipping. If you go slow enough to make no mistakes, you're going to get beat. And this is why you see a lot of slips, even at, you watch any World Cup, some of the best times going in don't make a round out because they slip.
Ben, c'est sûr. C'est comme tu dis, il faut, comme tu regardes pas en bas, il faut juste que ton corps se rappelle où les prises sont. Donc, si tout va bien, tu vas réussir. Mais si quelque chose arrive, c'est là que ça va perdre. Mais tu peux pas avoir un record si tu penses trop.
It's fun to go fast. The more I've been involved and really been thinking about speed climbing, the more I appreciate how technically difficult it is and how people are trying to create new sequences, and they have been. So this skip at the beginning, we called it Tomoa skip because Tomoa Narasaki was the first speed climber to say, what if I didn't go 3 feet to the left and just tried to go straight up?
Là, ils vont présenter les finalistes.
So we go 4 finalists, and then we need to separate them into the gold medal and the bronze medal. So we do a small final and a big final. We don't just hand over the bronze medal. You have to race for it. So here they're going to race their way into either the gold medal, the big final, or the bronze medal in 4th place, the small final. You might even be able to hear them in the background, but we're going to have Erica Velev on the left, and Tegan Chow is going to be on the right.
But this looks like Farnaz, no?
Nope.
From alley up?
I'm going by what I heard.
Yep. Yeah, alley up au Québec. Ouais,
Yeah.
tout à fait.
Yeah. We're looking at jerseys and trying to solve.
Non. J'étais complètement mélangée.
All right, Erica and Tegan to get a spot in the big final. Really good start from Erica. Tegan a little behind here. If Erica can keep it together.
And là.
8.9. And a good time from Tegan as well. 8.9 is as good as we've seen today. That's really good climbing from Erika Velev.
Oui, c'est la meilleure à date.
And only 1 second out of the Canadian record, which is both close and really far.
Totally.
1 second is not a long time when you're making soup in the microwave, but it is it could be a year of training on the speed route.
Voilà, Farnaz et Louisa. Farnaz à gauche, Louisa à droite.
And I'm just going to make people learn French. Left is gauche, right is droite, so now you know. Farnaz à gauche.
Ce que moi j'ai remarqué en regardant les qualifs, c'est comment les moves sont, vu qu'ils sont hyper puissantes, de les faire pendant 15 mètres aussi vite, c'est épuisant. Le monde, il pense que de courir, c'est dur. Imagine de courir en vertical.
En vertical.
C'est beaucoup plus dur que le monde pense.
Yeah. Here we go. Farnaz a little bit slow there, not slipping but stumbling. This is going to be close. This is going to be close.
Oh!
Farnaz is going to pull it out. Wow, right in the middle there, it could have been anyone's.
C'est proche.
And you can see just here a good catch-up move in the middle, and then Farnaz managed to just stay ahead from that top third. We often break the speed route into thirds, the first third, the middle third, and the top third. The first third is critical as the start goes. What start move are you doing? Did a slip is almost impossible to recover on the start. The middle section slows down a little bit. It's much more, it moves more left and right. You have to use the footholds. And then the top third is very explosive. So right in the middle there is when it started to get exciting.
Oui.
We got close, and then we managed to just hang on to that lead. You can't really look to the left or right. You don't really want to. You just have to put your head down and go. If you spend too much time wondering where your competitor is, you're going to make a mistake.
Mais ils ont une idée quand même, parce que j'ai déjà vu que les compétiteurs, s'ils savent qu'il y avait une slip, ils vont, tout d'un coup, ils vont commencer d'être un peu plus précises, parce que la vitesse est moins importante, et c'est juste une question de ne pas faire une erreur.
Yeah, and you can sort of hear, I think, the footsteps. Speed climbing is quite loud. When you're in the room, they are stomping on the holds. So you can hear the footsteps catching up to you. And interesting, Bonnie, there are people developing speed climbing shoes. Because they drag their toes up the wall, they actually want rubber that doesn't stick on the toe and on the top.
Huh.
They want rubber, of course, that's sticky on the bottom because of the smearing and it's still climbing. The shoes are not very aggressive, right? They're more flat. They don't fit the same way that your bouldering shoes or your lead shoes do at home. But they're trying to get shoes that slide up the wall better.
Wow.
A lot of them wear knee pads. You'll see their knees and their knuckles get banged up really badly. There is quite a bit of friction on the wall, and there's a lot of slipping over years of training. So here's the presentation of our 4 finalists on the men's side. There was a long pause. Ethan Pitcher on the far right. Jack Whitney.
À côté de lui, puis Michael et
Michael
Dylan.
Finn Henry, and then Dylan Lee on the left. And our first pairing is going to be Ethan Pitcher against Jack Whitney.
Ce que je trouve le fun, c'est que même qu'au Canada, c'est quand même un sport assez jeune, on n'a pas autant de compétiteurs que dans les autres disciplines, c'est que c'est toujours excitant quand c'est proche. Puis ici, on est quand même, c'est sûr qu'il y en a quelques athlètes qui sont by far and away meilleurs que les autres, mais il y en a beaucoup au même niveau, et là, ça le rend la course très excitante.
Exactly. It's exciting when you have a field that is competitive, even though you have you have someone that's definitely going to be the class of the field, but the middle is very close.
OK, checkons ce que Ethan peut faire.
Gunning for records.
Encore. Ouais, c'est pour ça que je parle de lui.
And you see them looking at the light. So when you see their gaze, they're not looking at the first hold. They're looking at the light to turn green, and they're listening for the beep. Light travels faster than sound. It can also sometimes, if the room is busy and loud.
Yeah, not to downplay Jack at all. Lui, il a eu en bas de 9 secondes en qualif.
A great start. Oh, Jack with a slip, and then Ethan now. Every run for Ethan here.
Ouh! Il a battu son record.
6.1. That's a new Canadian record.
Nice. Excellent.
For the second time this morning.
Pour une fraction d'une seconde, je pensais qu'il était en bas de 6.
Oh, that's approaching his personal
Wow.
best. He's done 6.1 in competition, and he's done under 6 in practice. But that is another new Canadian record. Look at it's really good here. No mistakes.
Yeah.
Maybe just a half step there.
Yeah, tu vois, juste avec le troisième prise avant, ça c'était la différence. Ils vont regarder la vidéo après, ils vont analyser, ils vont voir, ils vont le corriger. Il y a beaucoup de possibilités. 6.13.
That's fantastic work. All right, Michael Finn Henry, who's also capable of running in the low 6s. I mean, I'm hoping that's the final that we're going to look at. Dylan Lee, although either one of these two would make a good final.
Oui.
Dylan Lee has been putting down great times as well.
Oui.
So this is going to be a good run, and then I'm sure that Ethan is watching
c'est stressant,
anxiously.
celle-là, en fait.
Yeah.
No.
I think he's going to think that went before he went.
Mais c'est pas la première fois que le monde a eu de problème
No.
avec ça. Puis lui, il va dire que ça compte pas.
Yeah, and he doesn't.
Oh,
I mean,
no.
it matters.
Oh non. Oh non. Ça se peut pas, man. Est-ce qu'il va faire une appeal, peut-être? Je sais pas comment tu fais ça.
And I don't know if that panel, the floor here is a bit rubberized. I'd be worried about it slipping. So that registers as a false start. And that's the
C'est
information
fini.
we have now.
Oh,
So
c'est
that'll put him in the small final.
j'ai
I mean,
ça.
look for yourself.
Look.
That was earlier.
OK.
And then,
Non.
No.
Ça sonnait avant.
no. I don't know who needs to see that, but it's super obvious.
Ils vont le regarder.
Yeah, they're
c'est
going to
sûr.
look at it. Okay. Yeah,
pense qu'il
it's
est en-
clear to us.
No.
Yeah, and I think he knows that he
Ouais.
didn't even flinch yet.
Non, il n'a pas enlevé son pied du
So
tapis.
Yeah, I imagine we'll have a pause because we're going to want to sort that out. We don't want to get into the women's final to come back to this semifinal. So just look at the light and his left foot. It goes
c'était
red
rouge
before he
avant.
moves. So Dylan's light goes green and Michael's light goes red. And there's a problem on that side. That's shown itself 2 or 3 times. So there's something not quite right in the sensors. It is interesting. You see that they can move them around. You see them, they get their starting position, and they choose where to put the foot panel. Some will put it on their right foot. Some will put it on their left foot. But that allows us to have a really fair start because some people are taller. Some people move left to right. Some people go straight up. So you get to put it where you want. I mean, I feel like we could just have a bigger
Matt.
foot pad
Ouais.
over the years, but we've decided this is the most efficient way to do it. They get to put it where they want, but it's that explosion. There is, I've heard that it can get triggered by the compression before you leave. So if you compress and then flex, but you haven't left the pad, it's registering that you've pushed and maybe are leaving. But people are talking about sort of micromillimeters and hundredths of seconds. So this is just shop talk that I've heard being around speed climbing for the last few years, is that there are technical issues.
Mais ça va rendre son cerveau un peu comme off. Mais j'espère pas, là, mais c'est sûr que quand quelque chose comme ça arrive.
Yeah, you got to it's like any false start in any sport, you have to get reset. So you get yourself into your mindset to it's time to go, and then you've got to cycle back. We should be able to tell from here, and we think it should be quite obvious once the judges have a look at it.
Mais c'est dommage quand quelque chose arrive comme ça à cause de la technologie.
Yeah, agree. And it's I mean, there's no one here. I don't know what you would be fixing here even. It's
No.
like we don't know that there's like, oh, let's just swap the panels out. Okay, they're going to go right away. So
Okay.
they've determined.
Que c'était une erreur
Yep.
de technologie, une erreur de sensibilité du tapis.
Okay, get refocused. Both Dylan and Michael.
Mais oui,
You know,
oui.
Dylan was ready to roll as well.
Oui. Il y a eu un bon début.
So he'll look at the process. So he gets it on his start hold, and he puts his left foot where he wants it, and then he remembers where it is, and they move the mat over. Get it just right. But the floor is a little slippery. I don't know if maybe if it slides.
Ouais.
Normally it's there's a pad that's carpeted, like there's a few things that change. You got to adapt. Every wall is the same, but not every starting floor is identical. All right,
OK.
we're back in the action.
Allez, les gars. Dylan Lee de Québec. Lee. Et
Michael Finn Henry,
Michael Finn
who is
Henry.
becoming Canadian. He's going from dual to Canadian. There we go. Maybe a slower start out of caution. This is close. Michael Finn Henry a hair ahead, and he is going to tap it out.
Dylan, il a eu 6-6-4. C'est
That's
excellent.
A really good time. That's far and away his personal best.
Oh, c'est vraiment cool.
And 6-3 for Michael
Hi.
Finn Henry, an excellent
Il
time.
faillit la battre. C'est fou.
Look at maybe just a cautious start. And then away they go.
Wow.
Dylan Lee, I mean, absolutely in the mix. Here they're neck and neck.
Totally.
I don't even see maybe a
Wow.
tiny slip
juste
there
là.
at the end from
Ouais.
Dylan.
Mais
And
là,
that's the difference. And he
vraiment
would,
une fraction.
and he would have been in that 6-3. He would have been basically that same time
Yeah,
frame.
yeah.
Almost a second better than his personal recorded
Oh,
best
oui.
coming into this event. Obviously, that's a lot. That's in the last maybe 2 years of training.
Oh, il est bon. Il est super bon, Dylan.
So that's great. So you're going to see Ethan Pitcher against Michael Finn Henry in the big final, and you're going to see Jack and Dylan
Ah oui,
in the small
son
final.
PB, c'était 7 avant ça. Puis aujourd'hui, il a fait 6.78 dans les qualifs. Et là, il vient de faire 6.3.
6-3, yeah. Dylan 6'5", and Michael 6'3".
OK.
So now we're going to roll back over to the women. We're going to run the small final first, and then we're going to run the big final.
OK, donc, dans le big final, on a Erica puis Farnaz.
And I think there is a bit of a gap. There's a minimum amount of time. They don't just run back to back to back. They have time to rest and recover. So there is a small pause to make sure that they're ready to go. We run the small final first. I would encourage you, if you're unfamiliar with speed climbing, to go and look at a few recent speed climbing events. I would go and look at the Salt Lake City World Cup world record from Vondrik Leonardo at 5.2 seconds, and just look at the power and the explosivity and the way the route gets climbed. I would encourage you to go and look at Alexandra Miroslav and her world record time from the Olympics this year at 6.8. Because the sport is so exciting. And when you see it, like anything, when you see it done perfectly, it's really hard to compare bouldering and lead because the route is different at every competition and every round. But here it's binary. There is one route.
OK. Louisa. On commence avec le small final.
Yeah. Tegan Chow against Luisa Kruskov. And the winner of this gets the bronze medal.
Leurs temps sont assez proches. Autour de 11 secondes.
Go Tegan with a slightly better start. And then Louisa catching up here in the middle.
Wow.
This one might.
Oh!
A slip from Louisa. Tegan Chow is going to take home the bronze medal. .3.
C'est ça la vitesse. C'est pas tout le temps le temps. Des fois, c'est les erreurs. Il y en a plus que tu penses, en fait. Justement parce que c'est une balance entre puissance et précision.
Yeah, and you'll see it just coming up here if you look on the right. Louisa just misses that foot by 2 inches. And Tegan Chow ran that cleanly.
Yeah.
You know, no mistakes.
Yep.
And now our gold and silver medals are going to come down to Erica Velev and Fernaz Esmalzadeh.
Erica a fait en bas de 9 secondes tantôt. Fernaz est pas loin.
Yeah, it might be Erica slightly favored here. She's on your left.
Mais comme on vient de voir, c'est pas juste une question de temps. C'est cette course-là. Qu'est-ce qui va arriver?
They're being very calm about this left side.
Tapis.
Just for a second, I thought maybe our
Andrew?
jury president here, Paul Leday, was going to take a quick run up the speed wall. I'll test it out. Let me give it a try. Often they have a backup on hand. I've seen them broken. I've seen the finish panel broken.
Wow.
Yeah. They broke one at U.S. Nationals in the qualifying. Someone broke a foot panel. Let's check it again.
OK, ça va.
Something I don't think we're going to see much here, but if you watch Speed World Cups, is they start their momentum swinging in the countdown, in the 3 beeps. Here we mostly see just direct starts straight up.
Okay.
Yeah, a clean start from both. Erica ahead and staying ahead. For now, coming in close at the finish, but it's going to definitely be Erica. 8.7 seconds. That's a good time.
Best.
Could be. That's, I think, again, one of the best times we've seen today.
Oh, elle doit être contente avec ça, je pense.
A gold medal for Erica Velev, a silver medal for Fernaz Esmalzadeh. Erica ahead most of the time. Got close just for a second. Fernaz was catching up and then just couldn't keep that momentum going.
Ouais. Ouais. Même quand tu grimpes ça parfaitement, il faut quand même que tu gardes la vitesse. Puis quand je regarde surtout des femmes aujourd'hui, en fait, je remarque une grosse ralentissement de deuxième partie parce que c'est tellement dur de garder la même puissance pour toute le 15 mètres.
Yeah, it becomes a long time.
Erica, on va demander, juste pour être sûr, si c'était son
son
meilleur
personal
temps.
best, yeah.
8,72, c'est très bon. Puis là, on a le small final. Ça va être entre Dylan et Jack.
You see in the background there, Michael Finn-Henry, just in his zone, miming out his moves. Got to stay pretty limber. You got to stay pretty warm. You do see a lot of speed climbers, like definitely immediately jackets and hoodies back on between rounds. They don't cool down. They don't have time. They don't re-warm up at any time. But you'll see a lot of jumping, a lot of explosive movement in the background to just keep those quick fire muscles. So for the bronze, Jack Whitney on your left, Dylan Lee on your right.
Dylan va être favorisé pour gagner, juste selon leur temps. Mais
I wouldn't place any bets.
non. On ne sait jamais.
Clean start from both. Dylan Lee ahead and staying ahead. I think that's going to be Dylan Lee. Yeah, 6.999 for the bronze medal. That is a good time from Dylan Lee. Just shy of his personal best, coming in around 6.5 seconds. Yeah, they both got off to a great start, and Dylan there just a little bit more efficient in the skip, and then kept that momentum going. No mistakes.
Parfait. Ouais. Juste assez pour gagner.
And the heavy hitters have made it to each other. No mistakes in the rounds to get here. This is going to be spicy, Bonnie. The gold medal is going to be between Ethan Pitcher and Michael Finn-Henry.
Bon. Je pense que c'est ça qu'ils voulaient, eux autres.
And they are, I mean, it is Ethan sometimes Ethan Flynn Pitcher and Michael Finn-Henry. We're trying not to trip ourselves up by trying to pull all of that together every time, but you know, the only three named competitors are meeting each other in the final. I'm excited. Bonnie, this proves to be very close, and when you're against the best, maybe you're pushed a little harder, and maybe we see that record get broken a third time today.
Ça serait vraiment cool. It's all coming down.
There it is, a slightly better start from Ethan.
Mais c'est neck and neck.
Oh,
Ethan
Michael
est
catching
là.
up. Ethan, a little slip.
No,
Yeah, 5'9".
Sub
Sub 6 seconds and another new Canadian record.
5.97.
Ethan Flynn
mon
Pitcher
Dieu.
going under 6 for the first time in Canadian history. He's done it in practice. He put it together here, paired up against Michael Finn-Henry, who put up a good time himself, even with that slip. And that's what good competition does. Bonnie, that's what we were hoping to see today.
C'est excellent. Oui, c'est ça qu'il voulait. C'est ça. Puis je pense qu'il devrait remercier Michael parce que c'est en partie grâce à lui qui a poussé comme ça.
Exactly. Have a look on the left. 0 mistakes this time from Ethan Pitcher. Maybe a half a slip there.
Même.
But still that upper momentum. And that man, and even you see Michael right away applauding.
Ouais.
And Ethan ecstatic. We're going to have a word with the winners. So we're going to send them over. We'll get you a couple words from the mouths of our two speed champions, Erica Belev and Ethan Flynn Pitcher. We just have to wrangle them, which if you've ever been around groups of athletes, wrangling finalists is really, really hard. Wrangling winners, even harder. I hope you enjoyed that, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you are as excited as we are about the speed climbing events here. It truly is the most dynamic part of our 3 World Cup level events. They all have their own merits. Of course, lead is exciting, bouldering is exciting, and speed is just different exciting. So we're going to start with Erica. Get over here and throw that on.
Both.
Okay, on va le faire en français.
OK, c'est quoi que vous allez demander?
Qu'est-ce que je vais demander? Je vais juste demander, est-ce que, premièrement, est-ce que c'est ton temps
C'est mon record.
meilleur? Oui, OK, c'est
oui.
ça, je pensais. On a checké ça, puis c'était de mieux en mieux, qualif, semi, puis là. Donc, parle-moi de tes feelings d'aujourd'hui.
Je suis quand même contente. J'ai battu mon record personnel. Puis avec toute la pandémie, puis les gyms qui étaient fermés, on n'a pas eu vraiment beaucoup d'entraînement non plus. Donc, je suis quand même contente. Puis il y avait une amélioration avec chaque run, donc je suis contente.
C'est excellent. Félicitations.
Merci.
Puis comment justement, avec des salles qui étaient fermées, ça veut juste... Est-ce que tu avais fait des choses en dehors des salles?
Ben,
Chez vous?
C'est un peu tout, là, du cardio puis tout, là, pour aider, mais c'est sûr que c'est pas la même chose. Puis surtout à Montréal, il y a genre juste à Horizon Rock le 15 mètres complet.
Oui.
Donc, j'ai juste eu un entraînement pour pratiquer sur le 15 mètres. Donc, c'était un peu compliqué, là, mais je suis contente. Ouais.
Oui, mais ça avait l'air vraiment d'avoir comme pay off.
Ouais.
Puis, est-ce que c'est quoi la mentalité quand tu viens? Est-ce que tu pensais juste de gagner ou est-ce que tu avais dans la tête aussi de...
Honnêtement, c'était genre sur les... Dépendamment du run, je pensais différemment. Genre, c'était vraiment essayer de ne pas faire d'erreur. Même, je me suis dit que parce que sur une des runs, j'avais bien parti, j'étais genre super... genre un peu choquée de moi-même, on va dire, parce que c'était mieux qu'aux entraînements. Donc, genre, j'étais comme, ah, OK, ça se fait, mais j'ai fait des erreurs après. Donc, je suis comme, OK, peut-être je dois, genre, slow down une idée, puis essayer de diminuer mes erreurs. Donc, je pense qu'avec ce mindset, c'est comme ça que j'ai fait un 8, là. Donc,
C'est vraiment cool, c'était excitant, puis félicitations.
Merci
C'est quoi la
beaucoup.
prochaine étape pour vous?
ben maintenant, c'est le HPP, je pense, au mois de mars.
OK.
Donc, on va voir comment ça se passe là.
Mais bonne chance
Merci.
et félicitations encore.
Merci beaucoup, merci.
On va passer ça à Pete et Ethan.
Throw that on.
Feel all like Top Gear in this thing.
Yeah. All right, I am here with your 2022 Speed National Champion, Ethan Pitcher. Ethan, I know you are buzzing right now. What's the biggest emotion in front of you right now? What is it?
I can't even put a word on it. I'm just ecstatic.
Yes. You broke your own record 3 times in this competition. You got faster every round, and then you went sub 6 seconds in the big final for the gold medal. I know you've done sub 6 in practice, and you say you feel this is a long time coming. When you say that, what's the difference between doing it in practice and then being able to put it all together over 4 rounds in a speed competition?
There's like zero pressure in practice, so like you can just push as hard as you want without any repercussions.
Mm-hmm.
In practice, or I mean in competition, you slip once and you're out.
Right.
So
you dial it
Kinda
back a little bit
stressful.
sometimes. You dial it back a little. I mean, you saw that in your earlier rounds. You're like, I need to be ahead of the person beside me, and then you're paired up against Michael Finn-Henry, who is, I mean, you guys are basically neck and neck. So how much of knowing that the guy beside you can run the times you run pushes you to be, this is the time I'm going to go full speed?
I mean, quite a bit, especially like knowing them like on a personal level and like being like friends with them. It really, I missed a foot there.
I was going to say, can you show us where you, and then right at the top here, do you think maybe there a slight slip there?
Step too high there, yeah.
So that slide and smear, you want that to be a little bit closer, and maybe that's another 1/10 of a second or 100th of a second?
Yeah, like every second counts, like every millisecond
Every
counts.
millisecond.
It's a lot. That's what I love about speed. There's just so many like little factors that like can determine like who wins, like who has a better mental game, who's like physically stronger. Because wow,
I'm excited watching you be excited. And I'm saying we're not gonna ask you get too in depth into it, but we were talking about the subtleties of what goes on into speed climbing as well, because it's not just sprinting in a straight line. It's sprinting up, and your movements are separated from your lower body and your upper body, and there's so many things can go. And as you see, as Ethan's describing, that last foothold, the smear to hold time, if that's 2 inches lower, it's maybe another 100th of a second. And this is the difference that we're talking about, especially when you're going for records. But Ethan, new Canadian record, gold medal, national champion. You said that you've been gunning for this for a long time. I'm super excited for you. Congratulations.
Yeah, I mean like it's about time I won one of these things.
Mm-hmm,
like,
yeah. And what's next? What's coming up?
I don't really have any competitions until the summer, the World Cup circuit.
Okay.
Actually no, there's the high performance comp that's here in March. We'll see how that is. I have no idea what to expect from that though.
Yeah, so you're going to train to that, and you're going to be training and be at World Cup. You're going to be in Salt Lake City?
Yeah, for sure.
Excellent.
Definitely.
I look forward to seeing you put down these kind of times on a World Cup level. Congratulations.
Thank
Well
you so
deserved.
much.
Go get you a medal up there. All right. I mean, guys, that's as good as it gets in Canadian speed climbing right there. You're privileged to have got to see a Canadian record broken today and sub 6 seconds for the first time. Really fantastic climbing. Wonderful climbing on the women's side as well. We're not at that level. We're approaching the Canadian records at the field that was here. We're going to step away and do the podium, so don't go very far. It's not going to take very long to go and do the podium. Thank you for hanging out with us, and we might pop back after to close the show out. If you're going to step away now, thank you for hanging out and watching speed climbing. I know that we had a really, really fun time this morning bringing it to you. It's fun to watch people go fast, and they definitely did. So don't go far. Podiums are coming right up.
From humble beginnings to a global stage, no matter if you climb for fun, for sport, or for life, you found something in climbing that calls to you. A passion to struggle, to strive, and to ascend. The climb may be between you and the wall, but as a climber, you are a part of a community. A community every climber calls home. Rockbase, proud partner of Climbing Escalade Canada.
Passing to you? How much do you want at a time?
need a picture.
Oh, sure.
I need a picture for the ground. Oh, shit. It's blaring sun behind you.
So?
Couldn't work.
What can I do?
It's hard to take blind photos.
Why are you just doing the selfie with?
What?
Doing the selfie with. I used to have this thing on my phone where I could actually like whistle and it would put on a timer. There you go. Pretty good. Very nice. You want to get like a big one from back here?
No, that was actually pretty good. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because then you get the wall and everything.
Don't get me hit. Hanging off the edge. Work safe.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to start with the award ceremony for this Speed National Championship. As we begin, I'd like to start with the land recognition, please. In the spirit of truth and reconciliation, all of us at Climbing Escalade, Canada, acknowledge that we gather on traditional unceded land of the Coast Salish nations. We honor their long history of welcoming many nations to this beautiful territory, and we uphold and uplift the voice and values of our host nation. Dans l'esprit de l'unité et de réconciliation, nous tous à Climbing Escalade Canada, reconnaissons que nous nous réunissons sur les terres traditionnelles non cédées des communautés Coast Salish. Nous honorons leur longue histoire d'accueil de nombreuses nations sur ce magnifique territoire et nous défendons et élevons la voix et les valeurs de notre nation hôte. At this time, I'd also like to thank the sponsors of this event. A very big thank you to Arc'teryx, to the Movement Factory, to Sports Canada, and of course, the Richmond Oval. We'll begin with the women's podium. In third place, we have Tegan Chow. In second place, we have Farnaz Ismail Zadeh. And in first place, from Quebec, we have Erica Belev. And now for our men's podium. In third place, from Quebec, we have Dylan Lee. In second place, from British Columbia, we have Michael Finn Henry. Columbia. And with a new Canadian record, we have Ethan Flynn Pitcher. Thank you very much, folks. Thanks for joining us this weekend. It's been a wonderful national championship for leading speed. That concludes the event.
All right, everybody. That concludes the speed event of this 2022 Lead and Speed National Championships, and it closes out the weekend. I really had a good time working with you, Bonnie. Thank you so much for coming down and putting your time in, bringing your knowledge, bringing your excitement of the sport to this broadcast. I hope you had a really good time.
Je me suis amusée tellement. Merci beaucoup à toi, Pete. C'était comme vraiment plaisant, puis j'espère de te rejoindre une autre fois. Merci beaucoup à vous pour nous avoir rejoints, passer la fin de semaine avec nous. Et là, c'est la fin de la week-end et de l'événement du National de vitesse 2022. Merci beaucoup.
Well said. We saw new champions on the lead side. We saw new Canadian records, sub 6 seconds on the speed side. This weekend had everything you could ask for a Lead and Speed National Championships. For Bonnie, Pete Woods here. Thank you so much, everybody. I hope you had a good time watching, and we will see you next year. Good job.